Hey there, this is Heather Marks from the Counseling Office, and on behalf of Ian Lally, we are excited to kick off another great year of university applications and another great year of partnership with you as teachers who no doubt play a critical role in writing great letters of recommendation. So welcome back to all you veteran letter writers, and bon courage to all of those who might be writing a letter for the first time this year. Indeed, Ian and I spend a lot of time working with our university colleagues to understand exactly the role this important qualitative evaluation should play. So please stick with us through this brief webinar to understand how this very specific and very critical piece of writing will help the students have a greater chance of getting what it is that they want. Just a quick overview that both applications to World and USA universities have both objective and narrative elements. There are all of the academic qualifications that they receive from NITO, the IB, etc. And then many world systems, and absolutely the US, have important narrative elements, and those include letters of reference or letters of recommendation provided by both teachers and or counselors. These are also paired with the one time in the application process that students can have a voice, that is in their essay. In a limited capacity, students might be able to achieve an admissions interview, and in some cases can submit a talent-based piece, a portfolio of some kind, along with their application. But the letters play a very critical role to this narrative set of elements in world and university applications. What should an exceptional letter of recommendation reveal? It's quite distinct, the role that the letter should play in the world system, primarily driven by the UK as well as in the US. We'll start with the world first. You can see on the left-hand side of the slide that it is truly subject specific. This is about endorsement, this is about evidence, this is about achievements, all related to a specific fit to a specific academic course. The US couldn't be more different. It is really about capturing the intangibles, about developing a palpable sense of engagement, whether that student has an understanding of and has taken full advantage of their strengths and abilities. What is the student's capacity and interest in being challenged, desire to make a difference, that kind of important purpose-based lifestyle, that they care about something outside of themselves, important qualities related to curiosity, creativity, collaboration, and openness to opportunities, in that it's in direct opposition to the world, which is trying to understand a very specific, fit to a course, where US is going to ask about a student's interests and potential to thrive in a course, but understanding that the proposition of going to college is going to be truly expansive. So this is what letters should reveal if written really well. And if they do reveal those items, the letter can then accomplish the following, all based on evidence that is really limited on adjectives and hyperbole and strongly rooted in evidence and examples that are specific to the student. The student should truly come to life. The admissions officer should truly feel like they have just had a conversation with this person. It puts their performance into context. Students who are applying to universities are likely, after making it through kind of that first filter of academic qualifications, will look nearly identical to the vast majority of the applicant pool. So it's about contextualizing their performance when grades and test scores and predicted grades are looking similar to their peers. It is your opportunity to verify strengths, and even for the strongest students, discuss limitations and challenges and responses to challenge, very importantly, providing an insight into just the life of the mind, everything that is beyond kind of what is implied by the grade. And then, of course, this is a really important integrity piece that allows NITO and the institution to develop a relationship, because many of our students complete apps to similar schools. So admissions officers are reading multiple letters from the same teachers to support students headed towards the same course. So it is certainly in your interest, when you are signing your letters, to stand behind your unique truly individualized and 100% true assessment of that particular student, so that they can see our letters coming and really buy into them and allow us to advance the student in the application process. For the U.S., I need to say, for a policy consideration, letters are to remain confidential. These are not to be utilized as like in graduation, I'll give this letter to you, or hey, why don't you and your parents go workshop this at home. With all students applying to U.S. schools, they actually sign a privacy waiver. They waive their rights to see these letters. They are letters written about the student to the universities and not written to the students and their parents. In most cases, world universities often have a school by school policy about letters being confidential in the admissions process. But per NITO school policy, please do not share letters of recommendation with students or their families directly. So if in fact the best letters are grounded in evidence, where does it come from? It is quite a tall order for each of you to remember details, minutiae, important kind of milestones in each particular student's experience in your courses. So be sure that Mr. Lally and I have asked the students to spend a lot of time looking in the mirror, a lot of time reflecting in their own coursework and who they are as a learner, just so they deserve to know the answers to these questions about who they are as a learner in your class, why they have achieved success, in what way have they been challenged. They just deserve that to know, so they can basically engage in their university education at a completely different level, but it also should help you with a ton of information about specific stories that you may not have remembered or may not even have been aware of. So for the World Letter of Recommendation, students are completing a World Letter of Reference form, which are really asking them to complete narrative information in 3 areas. Providing distinct examples, concrete examples about their academic success in your particular content area, and your particular content area should relate to their course specific fit. They need to also share what they believe are pieces of evidence related to skills, attitudes, aptitudes, qualities that are required of people successful in this course or career, and then to provide information about achievements related to the course or career that might be outside of your purview of your classroom. But everything about the World Letter of Reference is about fit to course. Okay, the U.S. is also a deep look into the mirror, and you can see the +ED++++, because here is what students really need to have reflected on to have the most exceptional letters shine through. Students have reflected a lot on the following: what is their best work and why? When have they been proud in your class and why? Super importantly for those strongest students, when have they been challenged in your class and what have they done about that? Instead of belaboring the points behind a strong grade, go deep into the student's strengths related to collaboration, innovation, leadership, and communication. And allow yourself to go broad and wide with kind of your definitions of these things. But students have been asked to describe stories, provide evidence that they have been collaborative, innovative, they have been a leader in your class, and it will benefit them to shine a light on these particular qualities. Further, curiosity is just at a premium for U.S. universities rather than kids kind of banging through the syllabus. There should be a sense of enjoyment in your class, given we know many students who are successful in certain classes but don't connect to the material. That's not going to be a very energetic letter. Growth over time is a real bonus, especially if you've worked with a student for more than 1 year. To elevate a grade may or may not indicate understanding. We all know how students can fake it till they make it. I've asked students to reflect on when have they known they've understood something in your class. I also have asked them to reflect on Are they aware of constructive feedback that you've provided, and what have they done about it, to show a level of kind of and a true investment and ownership over their learning? And then in particular, finally, to even drive the distance further from the grade, what does success look like for them in their class? I'm not sure if you've talked about their learning in this way with them. If you have, awesome. If not, students have expressed some challenges with this questionnaire, but you can imagine how much juicy information that you now have to write a letter that is truly unique when schools like USC, Boston University, will receive multiple letters from you about probably similarly abled students with similar marks, but might be manifesting themselves as learners in a truly different way. So a lot of heavy lifting for questionnaires for USA schools, but the students have done an amazing job to get you halfway there. So here's the timeline. We took this month with the students to complete the questionnaires for both teachers and, you got it, a counselor questionnaire is required for nearly every U.S. institution, and counselors will also be creating a composite letter for World University, so they had to complete additional questionnaires for us. They are also finishing up those questionnaires so that we will be able to officially request letters through MyLearning, our new college counseling portal. Then my commitment is to you by September 1. You will know how many letters you have to write, so then you can get to work. You can get to work on prioritizing those letters for students with early deadlines, and we'll get to that in the next slide. And then the next 2 months will be those letters for students who have regular deadlines into December. So that's kind of the flow. Here we go for deadlines. So the next upcoming deadlines for those students with UK applications or USA early applications is October 1 or October 15th. We will post these deadlines for you in your Maya Learning electronic request, so it'll be right there for you. And then December 1 will be the deadline for those students in the regular rounds in the US or needing letters for other country systems like Canada, the Netherlands, or other Europe. And then finally, the process. It's new, so bear with us. This is going to be kind of part 1. You will receive an electronic request via MyLearning. A very quick tutorial will follow, which will help you understand what to do with that request. You then can organize your caseload according to deadline. Please, please, please read these student questionnaires. For many of you who've written over the years say, I know what I'm doing, and that is super true. Mr. Lally and I read every single teacher letter before it goes out with a university application, and without question, your support is super on point. But if you use student examples and honor their reflections, their voices and their particular details will come out and kind of increase the quality even more. You will be able to download their questionnaires directly from your Maya Learning account once you receive your electronic requests. You please write letters, and you can see the link there, but I will also attach the official Nido letterhead. And then you're going to upload the complete PDF to MyLearning. You will not be submitting letters to a particular college, but uploading them to PDF, which allows the counselor then to submit all school documents at the same time. And for those of you to whom it applies, completing a common application teacher form, which is basically like a cover sheet to the hundreds and hundreds of schools that are a part of the common application. One video tutorial, not 3, but as you can see noted here, one video tutorial will help you, like in 3 minutes, understand the electronic requests, the process for uploading and completing the Common App teacher form. So that's it. I just don't know how to thank you enough in advance. I have tried to communicate the enormity of the ask that students are making of you, and it is one of the most satisfying parts of my job is to, and Ian's as well, is to kind of hear about their classroom experiences and their growth, because we aren't with them and in your environment every day, but it elevates our understanding of the student. It allows us actually to write stronger counselor letters with your authentic endorsement. So part 1, happy writing season. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stay tuned. We are here to support you always. Send us emails, stop by, and we'll make this process as smooth and successful as possible. Thanks again, everybody.